Hi, my name's Sharon. This is my first ever attempt at a YouTube video. A little while ago, I posted on Facebook about these glitter pictures that I do. This is how I found my way into acrylic pouring. I started off with glitter. It's something I just developed myself through college and just playing around and liking glitter. The basic is pretty easy. It is PVA mixed with glitter. This is an example of one I did. I know a lot of people say that for acrylic pouring you shouldn't use PVA because it's not archival. However, with this kind of glitter art, you are using PVA as an adhesive. You're not mixing it with paint. You want it to hold the glitter. The good way of, because as I show you, I mix the PVA and the glitter completely together. So what you find actually is that the glitter, it doesn't come off on your fingers. It is completely held down. This picture I did, I can't get it on camera. I have to get used to doing this stuff. This picture I did in 2016. And as you can see, the colours have held up really nicely. Because it's acting as an adhesive. So it's, it's doing its job rather than trying to use it as a conditioner. If you use it, I'm not criticising anyone who uses it as a paint conditioner, that's fine, but I know there's a lot of debate on the issue. So this one, I'm going to try and show you how to do one similar to this. As you can see afterwards, what I did was I stuck on rhinestones that matched the colours. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't, depends on my mood. Adds a little bit more depth. The glitter I use is very fine glitter. However, you can see that like this turquoise is much finer than this one. And it just adds a different kind of quality, a different depth to the sparkle. This isn't varnished because I feel the varnish takes away from the glitter sparkle. I like to just leave it with and as you can see, I hope you can see with the different glitters, how they all sparkle slightly differently. You can use even bigger glitter, like the kids glitter, to add even more kind of different texture to it. It's amazing actually how much you can do with glitter. And really it's just about experimenting, having a go. This is fairly thick glitter, so as you can see it holds its shape quite nicely. I have this glitter picture, which I did this year. And as you can see, the glue was slightly thinner, and it's given more of an effect of an acrylic pour, because the glitter has moved much more. It was just simply a different kind of PVA. I don't like to add water to PVA because I'm using it as an adhesive, and I think if you water it down, it takes away from that. I've tried it, I don't like it, but you can, there's so many different kinds of PVA that you can get, and they all give a slightly different effect. So, you just find a PVA that you like, and it doesn't even really come down to cost. It's purely personal preference. And actually this one's quite a good example of where I've used kids glitter here. This gold one, that's kind of what I would say is a standard kind of kids glitter. And as you can see, it just adds to the texture, I think. It adds a different sparkle. I really like it. But again, personal preference, whatever colour you want, whatever however fine you want your glitter. It's all up to you. Art is so, you know, it's whatever you want, whatever you like. So, but anyway, as I say, we're going to try and do one similar to this today, although not this colours. This though I did on MDF, which is this kind of wood, but I'm going to use a canvas today. First off, I will show you just simply how to mix. So I've gone for some different blues here, and I've gone for a yellow and an orange. So it's just blue, orange, you know, nice and bright. I'll just show you how to mix one of them up quickly, which is that colour. I am using Contractors PVA, just because I like to buy it by the gallon, just because it's cheaper. Oh no, 5 litres, is that a gallon? I don't know. I'm so knowledgeable. Anyway, so cup, pour your glue in first, because otherwise you'll get loads of glitter at the bottom once you haven't mixed in, and I just find that really irritating. So the good thing about this also is, unlike acrylic paint, you can always come back and mix more, so it doesn't matter if you haven't mixed quite enough. Oops. So pop that on, and then you just, yeah, and it really doesn't matter that much. I like to use I prefer to use plastic sticks, because then, you know, you can peel all the paint or glitter or whatever off after and reuse them. But I've misplaced them, so I'm just using some little wooden sticks. So just mix it up like that, really nice and easy. And that, you see, now that to me, can you see how that's globbing on there? It's a bit thick. I'm going to try and lift the camera up a bit actually, so you can see a bit better. I have got a camcorder coming to try and do better, but I didn't order a memory card, so not quite there yet with all my equipment. But I wanted to try doing my first video. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I've been told I'm a typical artist. I'm very unorganised, hickledy-pickledy. Yeah, now that's too thick. Now you don't want it as thin as your paint, because you don't want it running everywhere. You're not looking for cells. That's not what your goal is. You just want it to be able to, you need it to be able to sink into the other colours, so that, not that they mix together, but so that they level off. That's the goal. You want it to level off. So check your colours first. Now I've got 5 colours here, and I put them all together first to check that I liked the combination, because as you can see, once you mix it with the PVA, it turns very white, so you don't get a true representation of your colour. So that's kind of what I want. It's kind of gloopy, but it's not overly runny, but it will they will sink into each other. If it's too thick, then when you try and add one of the colours onto another, they'll just run off each other rather than sinking in to each other. So got my orange, got my turquoise, got my dark, I think that was kind of, forgotten what's what. Oh, that's kind of my royal blue, that one. This is kind of my dark teal, and this is my yellow. So they look really white, but that's fine. You get an idea of, as long as you've checked your colours first beforehand, before you mix them, you get an idea of what you're going to get. Right, then you just get whatever you use for fluid art, really. I've got a little 20 by 20 canvas here. I like to work small. I don't have much space, so I work small purely just for that reason. So right, there you go. So what order is up to you. You decide what order you want to go. I'll add on what I mixed up, what you saw me mix up. I start off in threes. For some reason, I always like to work in odd numbers. So I'll add 3 little dollops there. I'll add 3 little dollops there. It doesn't matter if you drop a bit, it really doesn't. I'll add 3 little dollops there. And I'll add 3 little dollops here. I'm going to go for the teal next. I will keep to my I'll keep to my threes until I've got fairly good coverage, and then I'll go down to about 1 blob, which I'll show you. So I'll go 3 here. I'll go 3 there. And then once I've started adding colours, I'll then start putting them inside each other. So I'll do that one. So you can see actually this one's a little bit thick, but you see now you see what I mean, how the lighter colour is thin enough so that blue is just sinking straight into it, which is what you want, because you want a nice smooth finish. So I think I will go for some yellow next. So here I've got one of my little plastic spatula thingies, which is what I prefer to use, because you can just peel them off, just reuse them. I don't like to waste. You waste so much in art, and it's just so not necessary. So I try to, these cups, what I do is I leave them to dry, and then I'll peel out whatever's, dry, everything, the acrylic paint, whatever you're using in these cups. If you leave it to dry, leave the paint to cure, it just peels straight out. It's brilliant, and then you don't waste it. So as you see now, you see now how these are they're running into each other here. So this is what we're after. So what have I done? I've added 2 there. So I'll add this one into the darker blue. And you see, I'm quite happy with this consistency. See, this is why I like the contractor's glue, because the consistency is nice. It's just sinking straight into each other. And it'll start running off the edge. That's fine, because the goal is to get it up and just coming over the edges. It won't all pour off like acrylic paint does, but you want it to cover right up to the edges. Let's go for orange next. I mean, you can really do whatever you want. I mean, this is just, I was asked how I did it. This is how I do it. I'll pop on my Etsy shop link at the end in the description, so that you can see more of my work, because I've got quite a few of them in my, well, I haven't done many this year, but I have got some older ones still in my shop, like the one I've shown you, and you can go on and have a look and see what's there, and hopefully in the future, if this video goes all right and I manage to load it up correctly, I will look at doing some slightly different techniques in the future to try and show you what I do. And what colour haven't I done? I haven't done my royal blue. I do love a bit of royal blue. That's to be one of my all-time favourite colours, which is weird because it was my school colour, my school uniform. And I know that turns a lot of people off, but I always have been a bit odd. So, and someone told me, oh no, is it navy blue is an old purple's colour, isn't it? But I like navy blue. It's a nice colour. I work a lot with blue. I work a lot with colours. I'm not really a purple fan, but I do quite like working with purple, although not today apparently. I talk a lot of garbage. Anyway, so as you can see, they're all spread in. You can see I'm really happy with these consistencies. They're all sinking into each other, and they're all flowing into each other. I'm really happy with this. The other thing is, you don't torch your glitter art. Glitter's flammable. When you torch your acrylic art, that is, you're looking for a chemical reaction there. But you don't need to with this. I don't actually torch my I don't torch my acrylic art because I have birds, which you might be able to hear them chattering in the background, but they've gone quiet. Stuart, my cockatiel, was having a little bit of a paddy earlier, and I thought he was going to shout his way through this video, but he isn't. But so I don't actually torch because I try and avoid anything with fumes. So I try and find ways with acrylic pouring where you don't have to tip too much, and you don't have to and you don't torch basically. Yeah. And I still get good sales and everything. But anyway, so my point is, you don't torch this, because the only thing that's happening is that the PVA is helping the glitter to settle. And you can see you've got a nice sheen on it. That's just the slight layer of PVA you've got going over the top, which ultimately, when it's dry, that will hold the glitter in place. But you won't be able to see it. It will look just like you've just got a canvas of glitter. That's all it will look like. And it will sparkle. When it's like this, it's not sparkling, but don't worry, because when it's dry, it will sparkle beautifully. So sometimes I just try and nudge it over to the corners, but it doesn't always work. I'm just going to leave one. I'm just going to put one dot there, because otherwise I'm going to lose it all over the edge. I'm going to put 3 in here. You can now, how many dots you put down, how many of everything you do, really. Again, it's personal preference. Do whatever you love to do. You can do big dots, small dots, runny dots, tight dots, not knots. You can manipulate them. It's really just have a go. It really doesn't matter. Do what you want. Really don't. There's no rules. People try and say that there's rules, but there really isn't. It's art. You just do what you want. So now it's a case of filling up the empty space. So I'm going down to, I did just do 2 there, but I'll put 1 there. So I don't want to lose too much over the sides. I will put, whoopsie, oh dear, that doesn't matter. It'll still look good. I'm going to put 3 in here though to spread that, because one way to get to the edges is to spread out the middle, and it will even out. I've got a little bit of something there, which I'm just going to pick out. It's fine, because it will all sink back down again. To pick out, I like to use these little things. Really useful. I use it a lot with the acrylic as well, just, if I want to pop a bubble or whatever. Let's go for, what colour do I want this? Let's go for some blue again, and then we'll go for some more orange. So put a couple of dots here. Now you can start, you can manipulate and just move it around to try and fill any corners like that. I will put 3 here. Sometimes you can flick it. You can try doing lines. Actually, I might make that. I might do that as a future video. Do lines. That's kind of, I like stripes. That's one of my things with my acrylic painting. put some orange on now. I haven't done very much orange on this. I love orange and yellow, you know, I love them, but they're so, I think, underrated. People, particularly orange, people don't use orange enough. Although I don't always find it the easiest colour to pour with. But with glitter, now see, putting that on the edge, it's, once you have it, it's like with the acrylic painting, once you have it going over the edge, it pulls a lot of it over. We've got a little bit of white going on there. Now, because now I've started to use this to pull it over the edges. So I'm going to put on X. So I did one, two, three, fill some dots. Just put in some little dots as well. Right, let's go for some of the lighter blue. I can use the light blue to fill this gap. Yeah, you can see nicely. One there. Oh, we can't use it on any of those gaps because they've all got blue. I don't like to use the same colour to touch. I try and keep the colours separately. So I won't use light blue for that or that or that. Yeah. But I will use it just there on the yellow. Then I will use, what should I go for? Let's go for some of the dark teal, which, yeah, we can have the dark teal fill up that spot. And I'll use the dark teal to fill up that spot. Oh, I'll just use it to fill up, yeah, I think I'm at the stage now where I've nearly filled up most gaps, so I'll do that. And I've just got a little bit there to fill, that's fine. Right, so now it's all going over all the edges, so now it's just about using that up to make it as dotty as you want it to be, which is down to personal preference. So, and sometimes what is fun is when you get, like, you've got a large space of yellow there, just add a little extra dot, why not? Doesn't matter. Let's do some orange. So we will put it, now as you can see, it does look very white. It doesn't look that bold. Once this is dry, we haven't got any, that's it, we need some colour on that corner. Once this is dry, this is really gonna look amazing. We've got any large, no, we're done all right actually. We haven't got that many large areas. I mean, sometimes if I'm working, if I want it to be really spotty, I'll show you. If I want it to be really spotty, I might put in but again, as I said, I always like to work in odd colours, so there has to be 5, 3 or 5. Would never leave it at 4. I don't know, it's just something I learned, was taught in college, odd numbers are best. So that's what it stuck with me. The other thing you can do is if you don't particularly like the big dots, you could do, let's go for 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can just add as many as you want. I mean, we've got quite a big, you see, there's quite a big area of pale blue there, which I kind of find it's big, just a big area of blue. So let's just cover that up. And here as well, because it's got the white, it's hard sometimes to see if you've used colours that are similar. You can't see the definition there, but they will show up much better when they're dry. However, I think I will add a spot of the light blue. And now what you can do is make it even more fun. So I've got the 3 there. I could, if they really spread out, you could put 3 within the 3, but because they're quite small, they haven't spread out that much. So we'll just go like that. And as what you can see is the original yellow that I put down. You can see how much it has spread, out. And often, you know, the side ones will get pushed off the side here, but that's fine because that's why you're adding, you know, that's why you keep on adding to it a bit. But it still won't drip off as much as your acrylic pour does because there just isn't that same amount of movement. Now, as I said, you may get some bubbles in it, but like I said, you can't torch it. But I use my little dibber here, and we'll just go like that and get the bubbles out like that. You see, like that. I think that's pretty cute. Do you know what? I think I might add some more over here. Need some, because we've got 3 dots there, we've got the 5 there, we've got quite a lot going on there. There's not that much in the corner to do there, but I think it needs something up there. So what colour? I think I might need some yellow up there actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do some really, really tiny dots. Oh, well, that was supposed to be tiny, but you know, whatever, it's fine. 5, 6, 7. Then, oh no, I like that. But now I feel like that. I mean, sometimes I don't know when to stop. That's one of my problems. It's really hard. I really have to force myself at times to know when to stop. But I think I'm going to add that, and I'm going to stop it there. And I might just spend a little bit of time just getting the bigger bubbles out, just to make sure it's smooth, but that doesn't usually take long. I have a little, this is my little battery lamp, which I just find that if I shine my lamp over like that, then it just helps to pick out the bubbles, because sometimes the bubbles are not that easy to see within the glitter. But there shouldn't be too many. If it's, you know, nicely mixed, I mean, there shouldn't be too many. I would usually wait for it to dry for a day or 2 and then decide if I want to add any rhinestones or anything like that. But there you go. That is how to create your very own piece of glitter art. I hope that's been helpful. Any questions? Or, you know, if you've got any comments, please just comment below. Please subscribe, because I do plan to make better videos in the future. I have a lot more things like this to post, even though I know this video is really rubbish. And please share it with anyone you think might be interested. My name, if you'd like to look me up, on Etsy is Sharon Perry Art. I will leave the link. And Instagram, it's Shazapez. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my very first video. I am such a complete technophobe, so it's been fun. Bye.